Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com, thechrisvossshow.com. Hey, welcome to the podcast of The Chris Voss Show. Be sure to give us a subscribe, hit that like button, hit that bell notification button so you can check out all the wonderful videos and content on The Chris Voss Show. We've also launched the Chris Voss Patreon channel, so go to patreon.com/Chris Voss, and you can sign up there and get into our exclusive Facebook groups we've taken and built, where we actually give away some of the really cool products that are given to us by companies that we review, and you can get a chance to get a hold of that wonderful swag and gear. So be sure to go to our Patreon and check that out. So I'm joined here today with my good friend who works as the PR press agent for Weidman Bible. Am I pronouncing that rightly?
That's correct. Hi.
Okay. I'm never sure if it's Weidman or Weidman, so I wanted to make sure I had that right. So it's Diana. Diana, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Thanks. How are you?
Good, 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 good. You're coming to us clean over from Germany. How are things over there these days?
Well, it's actually today it's hot here. We don't really have air conditioning, so some people are suffering a little bit. And, you know, Germans like to complain sometimes. So, but it's brilliant. It was sunny today, so everyone is nice and happy. And yeah.
Well, we like happy Germans because we know when you guys get angry, stuff happens. It's kind of weird, you know?
Yeah, and we love to complain. If there's anything, we can always complain about the weather. So we are very happy that we have our bad, good, hot, and whatever weather, because there's always a reason to complain.
So let's talk about what we're here today to talk about with the Weidman Bible. And tell us what the Weidman Bible is. There'll be some links on the Chris Voss Show on this video and the show that you can take and download. Of course, let's open with a link to it so people can look at it as they're coming in.
Well, so the link is www.com, thebeekmanbible.com.
So it's WIEDMANN.com, theweidmanbible.com. And if you're a big fan of the Bible, a lot of people are, it's #1 best-selling book out there. You can go there and check out the wonderful things that we're going to talk about here on the show. So tell us what the Weidman Bible is.
The Weidman Bible is actually very unique. It depicts the complete Old and New Testament in 3,333 images that were hand-painted by a German artist. And so far, some art fans might know Chagall. He painted images to a Bible, but there has never everything been like the Beekman Bible that is depicting the complete Old and New Testament. And the original doesn't have any text at all. And the story behind it is actually amazing. The Stuttgart artist, Wiedmann, he painted that Bible, and he painted it for over a period of 16 years. And he tried to publish it, but back in the days when he finished it, he painted it from 84 to 2000. We all remember, I don't even know if there was a smartphone already on the market. So how do you publish a Bible that is almost a mile long? And how do you want to read it? It's close to impossible. And he had friends who were very well-known German publishers, and they told him, we really like you, but there is no way to publish that book. And then he kind of gave up on it for a little bit, and then he buried his dreams and his Bible literally in the attic and in 4 boxes, and just let it sit there. And one of his friends told me a couple of months ago, she asked, like, Billy, I mean, the Bible is not protected. What if there's a fire or if it's raining? He said, you know what? I'm not even worried. The Bible is just taking care of itself. And the most amazing thing is he wrote everything down, what he felt and why he painted the Bible and what people are supposed to do with it. And then he said, maybe one day someone will find it and will be able to publish it. And lo and behold, a very sad incident actually made it possible that this is happening right now, because Beekman died.
So basically, this gentleman, and what was his name?
Willy Wiedmann. That's why his son called it the Weidman Bible.
Okay. And he was an artist. He sat down and made this kind of like his life's work.
Correct.
He painted up this Bible, and he did individual, he took individual portions and verses of the Bible, and he took and painted these beautiful art pieces. And I forget what the art type, the way he did it. What is that called? The format that he used of the art?
He actually invented that painting style. It's called polygon painted style. So you have squares and triangles, and they're positioned in a 90 or 40 degree angle. And actually, I have a little Leporello style here. This is how you have to imagine like the Beekman Bible, almost 1 mile long. It's just like,
yeah. So if you take 300 or 3,333 of the images that he hand painted,
correct.
It's just crazy to think about. I mean, this is a life's work, and he painted them. If you put them together, they will stretch. What'd you say? A half a mile?
Almost a mile. We actually unfolded a reprint for the first time in May in Magdeburg, Germany. It was 1,517 meters long. So
yeah, there's a video that
you
guys. There's a video you guys have where it's just rolling all through Germany, and it's just one long continuous thing. And it's pretty amazing to watch the video. You can see that if you go to the WeidmanBible.com or in their YouTube channel. So he spent how many years making this artwork?
16 years.
16 years. I mean, this is a life's work when it comes down to it. This is something you do. And then what's funny is you mentioned he took notes on all this. He was just meticulous about what went into each of these images and the artwork and what he wanted done with them and his vision. I mean, this really is a life's work when it comes down to it.
It is. And the story goes on. When Willy Wiedmann died, he at one point he didn't talk about the Bible anymore because he didn't want to. So everyone kind of sort of forgot about it. And just a few people remembered when he received the Merit Cross of Honor from Germany, because he was very engaged in art and supporting young artists and whatnot. So when he died, his son wanted to reopen his old gallery, which is a wonderful gallery. So if you ever go to Stuttgart, you should go to Bad Cannstatt and visit the Wiedmann Gallery. It's amazing. It's still like an old house, just as everyone imagines old German houses. This is how it looks like. And so his son wanted to reopen this gallery, and of course he had to clean up because his father, he was multi-talented. He composed music works. He painted 30,000 pictures. So there's like way more behind that man. He was a genius. And so he kind of tried to sort everything out, and when he reached the attic to see what's up there, he found those boxes, and he was not prepared for what he found. I mean, he opened the boxes and he was just, wow. He like, when he told me about it, he said he didn't know what to think. There were like 19 books in there, and then he remembered, okay, there was something, my dad told me something about it. And then he thought to himself, do I really want to take on this mission? Because it's not something you do every day to publish something that has never been seen before. And how do you explain it to people? It's not just the Bible, it's also art. So it's very interesting. Even people who were not interested in the Bible, they would come to us and we would talk about it, because you see in those images what you see. You're not that distracted by the text. You can also take your Bible and look the Bible verses up. So people actually get engaged with the Bible through this Bible, even if they might not like it or were just curious or scared of it or whatnot. They start talking to each other. And this is what Willy Wiedmann always wanted. He said, I want a Bible that makes people think about what they do, about history and everything, and that makes people engage with each other and with the Bible again. And that's why I really like about it. And we call it the Weidman Bible moment, because at first people would approach us and were a little suspicious, like, okay, so there's a Bible, there are paintings, and when they realize, oh, wow, it's 3,333 paintings, hand painted by one person, almost a mile long, and then suddenly the whole misdemeanor changes, and then they realize what they're actually looking at. And of course, no one can carry around such a huge Bible. I mean, it's if you look at our YouTube channel, the Weidman Bible YouTube channel, we have that video. It's huge. And so the son, he scanned all 3,333 images, digitalized them, and then he thought, okay, how can I make this Bible accessible to everyone via app? Because now the technology is that advanced that we have smartphones and we have virtual reality. We have all these opportunities that Billy Weidman didn't have back then. Back then we didn't even have smartphones. I don't even know if we had Wi-Fi. So now there are way more opportunities, and it has been an amazing journey. Then it has been 2.5 years that he started that project. He found the Bible in 2013, and it has been really, really, really amazing.
Wow. That's the amazing part of this story. You always hear these stories where, you know, somebody's got like some stuff in the attic for a while, and one day they go up and check it out and they find a Picasso, you know, and so that's the amazing part of this story. And I guess the son had no idea this was up there. He goes up there, finds all this artwork, which is a lot of artwork, and decides to make it part of his life missions to promote and share this thing that his father did, which is it's just a great story, really, when it comes down to it.
It is, and the whole family is supporting him. And when we go to events, everyone is there. His wife is there, his kids are there, and his youngest son is called Willy Wiedmann as well, and he actually had the idea to create this coloring book, Willy's Bibelwelt, because he said, like, I'm a kid and I want to do something too, and it was my grandfather, and I like art as well. So yeah, that's how he came up with the idea to this coloring book, which is really amazing. It's basically a scene from Noah's Ark, and you can just color it the way you like, or stick with how it's colored in the Beekman Bible. It's just up to your creativity.
Wow. And the artwork is amazing. I mean, even if you're not into the Bible, I've sat and looked at the artwork and gone, okay, what's the story here? What are you trying to say? It's amazing how the triangles and stuff all work together. And it's just amazing. And especially when you look at it and you realize that it's not some sort of digital makeup or some junk computer put out. This was hand drawn with care, love, and design. And wow, it's just mind blowing, especially when you think of how much time it took to make each one of these images, and then of course also make 3,333 images. It's just nuts. It's crazy to think about. I mean, all the work that went into it, sweat, blood, and tears.
Yeah, and that was not just his only work. That was, besides what else, like whatever else he did, running a gallery, having national, international exhibitions, and he was such an interesting person. We found a handout of one of his exhibitions in Germany that is archived in the Guggenheim Museum in New York. So we contacted them and said, so why did you guys keep it for 40 years? Did you have an exhibition over there? And it's in German. And they said, honestly, we don't know. I said, well, it has to be important if you keep it for 40 years. And the lady emailed me and she said, yes, but I don't know. We have no notes if there ever was an exhibition or what. So yeah, you need a lot of detectives work to find out about.
It's like the lost Picassos, the lost, these lost paintings that are roaming around. And you're just like, hey, we found this one in the attic. And you're like,
yeah. Well, one art expert once said, like, he might be a Rembrandt. So he was very talented. And when you look at the images, it's quite interesting. For example, with this one that I showed you at first, when you see Adam here, so we see it as Adam and Eve. But youngsters, they say, oh my God, it's a face palm. If you tell anyone that was a face palm, nowadays we say, of course it is. But if I told my grandma, she wouldn't know what it is. And those are the things that you can see. Everyone sees what they see in those pictures. And it's basically, it's one long picture because you can take that individually, but also, you know, one is basically building up to the next one, and there is nothing really round in there. Even the round symbols have kind of corners, because that's the polychrome painting style, and it's quite amazing how he was able to implement all of that.
So we've got the website where you guys have the Weidman Bible. And there's several things you guys have for sale on there where people can get on there. They can interact with the artwork, and they can get some different products. Tell us what people can get on the website.
Well, on the website, you can look at our media word that Martin Wiedmann, Willy Wiedmann's son, has created. And it was most of the things were his ideas, which is amazing as well. He was so creative, and it's not that we have any big company behind us. It's like he does all of this. And then we have the virtual reality that you can actually use, which is amazing because you stand in the Garden Eden. So, or you are next to Noah's Ark, or you are we have 8 different rooms. It's just like, it's mind-blowing when you just put the glasses on and you just stand there. Sometimes you have to watch out because there are rocks and you just want to lean against it, and you know, you have to watch out that you don't trip and fall because there is no rock. It's that amazing. And
so you guys have a whole VR experience where people can be in the artwork.
Correct.
So it's just not looking at pictures on the Bible. You can be in a VR experience. You can be inside of the artwork. You can see it around. That's just amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah, and if you, for example, want to share images or for Bible study, you can use the app. It's perfect. We have some German classes here or schools already that use those images to study the Bible. And we had some art students who were just interested in the way it was painted and how he implemented different stories in a little corner. So there's a little tiny corner, and there's a whole story in there. And it's just amazing. It's yeah. You can see I'm still excited about it, and I've been looking at all the images every day, but it's still unbelievable.
Well, there's so much of it too. I mean, you can't get bored with it because, I mean, there's always new stuff to discover. And even when you look at the artwork for a while, there's little pieces and stories and trying to figure out what he was trying to say, what he was trying to attune to, because it's attributed to like the verses in the Bible. So what else is on the website that people can take advantage of?
Well, you can go to our shop, for example. We have very nice swag. We have the Beekman Bible t-shirts where you have Adam and Eve and the logo, which is great because you don't have to iron the shirt, which I love. And you also get information about Willy Wiedmann on the website, of course. Everything, I just explained is on there. And what's going to be new is the art edition, which will be published in German and later in the process in English and Spanish as well. The art edition is the very first time the Weidman Bible is being published as a book. Because right now we have everything digitalized, but the art edition will be a real book that you can read with Bible verses in German. As I said, later on they will be translated and published in English and Spanish. You can find that we have this in English too. So we have everything in 3 languages: German, English, and Spanish. Because Martin said he didn't want to exclude anyone based on language barriers. So that's why we decided to translate everything in English and English and Spanish as well. And you can also download the app. You can go into the VR, and what we also have, it's like a interactive kiosk. So when we go to events, you have this huge monitor which you can play with, and it's quite interesting. The young folks all already know what to do. So you basically click on one Bible and it flies through the room on a table. It's unfolding itself. You can hit the search option, which is great for events or even services.
Nice. You guys have a coloring book for kids. So if you're a parent, you're trying to reach your kids with the Bible studies, this is a great way to educate them and maybe encourage some of their artwork too, because they can go in and do the coloring book with the art. You guys have the digital DVDs, right? Where people
we have that, yes.
Or the DVDs, play with them. And then I believe they can also get an account online where they can see them online, I think.
Yeah, we have mobile apps that you can download, or if you, let's say, have a Windows phone, for example, you can just upload it on your browser, and the same with your computer. So if you say, no, I don't want an app on my phone, just go onto your browser and type in the BeatmanBible.com, go to open app in browser, and then there you go.
So this would be great for Bible study. I remember growing up when I was a kid, and my parents were trying to make me read the Bible. And I think I did read it cover to cover as best I could at my age. But it was pretty boring because, especially if you're a kid, because it's just text. And so this would be a great way for Bible study, groups, people want to teach their kids about the Bible and the stories they're in. And it gives them a wonderful illustrated pictures of what took place in the Bible, and certainly a lot more interesting than reading. I can tell you.
Well, I have to admit, I attended a Catholic school back then, and we had to read the Bible at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I wished I had this Bible or images as well, because kids can also be creative. So before you read the Bible first, you can actually say, what do you see there? What does that mean to you? How do you feel? And then you can compare it to the Bible first, and it's way more interesting. Plus, they remember it more easily as if they just read the Bible first. Especially
if they're visual. Like, I'm a very visual person. Like, I forget people's names, but I know their faces. I'm just a very visual person. If I see something, I remember it. But if you ask me to remember text or to give you lines, I can't remember lines either. So it's pretty awesome that way. I've been impressed with seeing the artwork and going through it. And even though I'm not a Bible person, it's been interesting to kind of look at the visuals, and every now and then I get caught up in them and go, what's the story there? And what's that guy doing, and this person, and the artwork, the way it's laid out, is really beautifully done with, like you said, the angles and curves of the triangles. What was the name of the artwork type that it was done?
It's polygon painting.
Polygon painting. So I was super impressed with it. The story is amazing. The story of an artist spending part of his life's work making all this art and then packing it away in his attic. And then his son comes along, finds it, and makes it part of his life work to champion his father's work. And that's what's really cool about this whole story, and the whole kind of aspect that, you know, you always hear in different art stories. It's like, we found a Picasso in the attic. We had this art here the whole time. We thought it was just a little, some Goodwill piece of art, and turns out it's a Rembrandt. We have it hung on the wall for 30 years. So, so yeah, it's a great story. It's a great, beautiful thing you guys have there. You guys have coloring books. You guys have the DVDs, the online access. You can get it on your phone through either your Google phone or your iTunes iPhone app. And I would say this is the greatest thing for Bible study. If you're a preacher, you have a church, you're doing Bible studies, spark this baby up, hook up your church with some of the artwork that they have, and make it more interesting so it's funner for people, especially for kids. Geez, the coloring book is pretty amazing, and everything else.
And if you share with 3,333 images, we did the math. If you share an image a day, it takes you about 9.12 years until you have each image shared once. So unless you share all 3,333 in one day. But other than that, it's going to take you a long time. So you can share it with your friends on Facebook. You can email it and have a Bible verse with it, or even have it as an image or like a picture hanging in your house, because the colors are so brilliant. They are so, yeah, it's just, you have to look at it. It's undescribable. It's brilliant.
It's really amazing. I've been surprised by it, and that's why I invited you guys on the podcast. So let's go through some links so people know where to go to find your stuff on Facebook, Twitter, and the Weidman Bible. I think YouTube.
On YouTube, it's Weidman Bible as well. So we have Wiedmanbible.com, which is our website. Then we have, of course, Facebook, the Weidman Bible. Then we have Twitter, Weidman Bible. We are on Instagram. We share daily prayers, and we are also on Pinterest. So it's basically, if you enter into Google Weidman Bible, or you go to our website, which we have our links to our social media there as well. And we also share short videos that we record. For example, with that word record we tried to set up, we are still waiting on a response if we made it. Because that would make the Beekman Bible not only the only Bible depicting the complete Old and New Testament, but also the world's longest painted Bible.
Yeah, it's just huge to think about. You know, the funny thing about the artwork is you can't just flip through it. It's a very detailed storytelling that you have to kind of look at the images and go, what's going on here? And like I say, this would be the perfect thing for Bible study groups that they can go through, people that can take the Bible to the next level where it's just not a bunch of text people are reading. And I think it would describe more meaning to people, and of course give people that are more visual like myself something to look at. Because I remember as a child going through the Bible, and I think I had some illustrated Bible stories as a kid, and you'd spend hours sometimes just looking at the pictures and expressions, what people were talking about. And so I think this is a great thing that could take it to the next level. I'm hoping more churches would pick it up and take a look at it from a Bible study aspect, share it with their congregation, because it's just a beautiful artwork piece when it comes down to it. And I don't think there's anything comparable, is there? I mean, has anyone ever done anything to this scale?
So there are different art Bibles, and one of the most the most famous one is Chagall, but he didn't paint pictures to all the Bible verses, just a few that he selected. But what Billy Weidman did, no one has done before, and I doubt that anyone will do it that quickly, because it took him 16 years, and I don't even know if he ever slept. So.
Wow. All right, folks. Well, check it out. Check out the Weidmanbible.com, Weidmann. There'll be a link on the Chris Voss Show below the video, and in the video description you can take and click on. I was impressed with the artwork, and I think you will be too. And if you love the Bible and gospel and all that stuff, I think you're going to be impressed with it, especially if you have kids that you want to take and teach them the lessons of the Bible. The coloring books and some of the different products they have there are a great way to experience them. You guys should take this and tour around the U.S. to different churches and give them a chance to, experience the VR, because not everyone's quite got the VR headsets yet, but they're starting to get there. I imagine on the phones you can do VR now with this. I know with the Samsungs I can put my Samsung in the thing, right? That works for the app, right?
It works for both, yeah. So the VR works for the headset, and the VR also works for your phone. You put it in one of those cardboard boxes, and then you can look at it. The app itself is, those are the pictures that you can look at, all 3,333. With the VR, we have 8 different rooms where you can just step into, and it's great. That's
amazing. It's just amazing.
It is.
And I haven't even looked at all the artwork, because I just look at a few pieces and go, oh, that's interesting. I found myself just looking at it for a while, trying to just go, okay, what's this? It's like a puzzle you want to solve, what the story was and what the lines are. I'm not familiar with the Bible's text, and I know there are people out there that they can just, they can quote the Bible like this. And it would be a fun experience probably for them to look at some of the images and go, oh, I know what that text is, and match it up. It would make a great game in Sunday school when it comes down to it too. This would be a great Sunday school thing, I think. So, and it's certainly more interesting than some of the Sunday schools I used to be in, where I just had some boring teacher yammering. Being able to look at pictures and do stuff. I'm more visual, so I don't know. That's how I work. So anyway, folks, be sure to check it out, the Weidman Bible, and I was very impressed with it. Thanks for tuning in with us, Diana, and sharing this with us today. And we'll be sure to check out the site and check out the other stuff and enjoy that warm weather there in Germany.
Okay, thank you for inviting me. And I hope that everyone visits the Weidmanbible.com and has his or her Weidman Bible moment, and I promise you will have it. Everyone had it.
I think you'll like it, the Weidman Bible moment. So guys, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes. You'll be able to see this podcast and others on iTunes and also Google Play. You can take and download that, and of course, subscribe to the show. We certainly appreciate it. Give us a like, subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Hit that bell notification button. Please support the show so we can keep bringing you great content. Support us on Patreon /Chris Voss. You can actually join exclusive private Facebook groups that we've set up, where we're giving away all the different goodies that we get here on the Chris Voss Show. You'll have a chance to get those. You can interact with the show, talk to me about YouTube, talk to me about what you're doing. We can chat. It's a community, if you will. The other thing is, I'm trying to think what the other thing is. There's YouTube, Facebook, iTunes. Follow me everywhere. Do that on Twitter. Thanks for coming by, Diana. Check out the Weidman Bible, and we'll see you next time.